ESPN Honolulu presents The Michele Nagamine Show. Brought to you by Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, HDS, Hawaii Pacific Health, Ruby Tuesday Hawaii, HGEA, HCAMP, Castle Resorts and Hotels, and Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union.
And a very pleasant good evening, and welcome to Call the Coach from Ruby Tuesdays in Moanalua. Scott Robbs along with Big West champion head coach, Rainbow Wahine soccer program, Michele Nagamine. Coach, congratulations on the championship.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a list. Yeah, give it up for the coach. I got to ask you, as the time was ticking down last Sunday, and you realize, hey, I think we have a chance here to win the regular season. What was going? I know what else was going through your mind, but what was? We'll keep that to ourselves. But what was going through your mind?
I think we had talked about it. Going into the last 3 games, we needed a point, just a point, to secure the top seed. And if we had won, then we were, or just, we needed like one. We just needed to grab points on the road, and we didn't want it to come down to Long Beach. So we had prepped the team, had a little bit of a disappointing performance at Cal Poly, but I think that built a lot of perspective for us. So getting into that game against Santa Barbara, we were like, wow, can this really happen? And I think Ula, Daniel, Noy, Num, and I, we were all like, we just want to know what's going to happen. So it got to the point where it's getting a little nerve-wracking. So I'm really happy that the team was able to put it away on the road and give us a little bit of breathing room.
This has been a historic, record-breaking season for the Rainbow Wahine softball team. I'm just going to read some of the things this team has already accomplished. There's still a lot more soccer left, right, bud?
Correct.
So let's go over some of the things. First regular season conference title since joining the Big West in 2012. You can clap, guys. It's okay. 4th regular season conference championship since 2007 and 4th all-time in program history. You've won 11 matches so far. This is the first 10-win-plus season since 2007. That's the only team that ever went to the NCAA tournament. And my broadcast partner was part of that team, Jessica Domingo. And
props to Jess.
Jess. Tied for the most conference wins in school history, which was set in 2007. Matched a program record with 5 straight shutouts, tying streak from 2004 and 2007. 7-match win streak this year was the longest in a single season in school history. 9-match unbeaten streak marks the longest in UH history. Quite a season.
That is, wow. I didn't really think about all of those things.
We've talked to you a lot, and obviously tomorrow night's game, by the way, will be on Spectrum Sports, 6:30 game on, 7 o'clock kickoff. You can watch that. Also, we will be broadcasting the Big West tournament next Thursday from YPO. Come on out, support the ladies. If not, you can see both matches on Spectrum Sports. I had to get that out of the way.
Yes,
of course.
Absolutely.
When you guys started this season, when you were practicing, getting ready for the season, what were your feelings? Because from day one, you were really, really positive about this group of girls.
Yeah, I was 100% sold on the people that we had brought together. And when you have good people who do the right thing, who look out for each other, who show up for each other, then everything else just kind of falls into place. But the people drove the success of the season. And when you see players on paper, you think, okay, we look good, but we just don't know what we're actually going to look like. And we weren't very beautiful at the beginning of the season. I think we struggled a bit to find a rhythm and a lineup. The coaches tinkered with all these different formations, and it seemed like we were playing a different formation every game, and sometimes up to 2 or 3 different formations in a game, and then trying people in different positions throughout the match. So I know it was hard for the players to get a little bit of a rhythm going, but it's something that we had to do to get to this point. So yeah, I've been excited and very, very high on this team from day one.
Yeah, absolutely, you have been. By the way, if you want to give a call in to Coach Bud, ask her a question, or just congratulate her 296-1420 is our number, 296-1420. You can text. We're also live on ESPN Honolulu's YouTube page right now. You can also go to ESPN Honolulu's Facebook page if you want to leave a question or a comment. And apparently we already got our first text. And let me see if I can read it to you. This is hardcore here. All right. Coach is Amber Gilbert graduating. I thought she was only a junior. Also, when is exactly the new soccer track complex going to be opening? We all want to know that answer. With or without lights?
I would like to know that as well. We haven't been able to attend our field user meetings because we've been traveling so much, but they told us originally January. We had a lot of delays due to bad weather, so I'm optimistic because I can see them out there every morning doing things. The retaining walls are coming up. The one closest to the road is actually complete, and they're working on all the infrastructure and laying down, some of the foundation wiring for lights, sprinklers, and such right now. And it seems to be moving along. It's completely level. It's looking good from a distance. I go and peep into the gate every now and then, but we hope to be on it this fall for sure. But the exact completion date has not been revealed to us, and it's. But I'm hoping to have it before Amber Gilbert actually graduates.
Well, she is one of the seniors, one of the four
she
seniors,
is.
right? I mean, she's the best. Amber Gilbert, we called her Amberghini.
Amberghini.
Did you give her that nickname?
No, I actually thought that somebody else gave it to her, but apparently she gave it to herself.
No kidding.
Because everybody was always talking about, I guess she was having a conversation with somebody, and I guess it came up, so it kind of stuck. And then I was like, Amber, that is genius. And I love that people give me credit for that. I don't think I'm that creative, but Amber was just, it was just something that she did as a handle for Instagram. And I thought it was hilarious. One of the best nicknames ever.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Amber and the seniors a little bit later, but I kind of find it interesting that this might have been the most challenging season as UH head coach, and yet your most successful. Talk about it, because I know you're not complaining or whining. It's just facts about the challenges you guys have had this year.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really know what it entails, what it takes to just run all of the different programs at UH. And when you add in a road trip, you think about a family trip that you go on. How long does it take you to plan for a family of 4 or 5 to go to Disneyland, the airfare, the hotel, the car, what you're going to eat, what you're going to do, entertainment. And we do that for 22 players 4 times in the season. It's a lot of moving pieces. It's just a lot of work, and just making sure that confirmation numbers and everything is, you're double checking and triple checking. But JB does a great job for us. We love Kareen. She just works so hard for our team, and Lavana. And so it's been this whole. Those are just the normal challenges. Now you talk about not having a field on campus, and we understand first and foremost, like you said, we're not complaining. It's just, it is what it is.
It is.
And we ended up having to go, thankfully Mouse, we could get some props for Mouse. Marissa Jervis from MidPac helped us to solidify. She works facilities.
You mean
up
Mouse
at
isn't
MidPac.
her given name?
It is not, but when you look at her, you can see why we call her Mouse. And, fortunately, Mouse was in a position where she could help make contact with their facilities people, and we were able to get on MidPac Field a couple times during the week. So it really depends on what they have going on campus for their PE, and their PE program has been amazing. They wait on the side, and as soon as we're done, we get off to go to weights or to cool down, and they come right on, and they've been so accommodating to us, and we're just so grateful. And just the people who have stepped up to help us, because we don't have a facility on campus, it's been incredible. And the one thing that we didn't take into consideration was what was going to happen in the first 3 tournaments of the year that we were at home. We were all excited because we finally had 6 home games in a row. That hasn't happened in a long time. And just getting the teams to, when you have poor Timmy Chang, They have all these guys squashed onto one field on TC Ching. Then the band needs to practice. ROTC needs to do their workouts. Intramurals, I think we've had to kind of really take a look at their schedule as well. So it's hard to get onto Ching. But Matt and Timmy and Ren, they've been so good. CB they've been so accommodating with us. So whenever we can squeeze on to part of Ching Field, we get on there. And then Coach Bob, Coach D, Coach Lons with softball, we got to give a shout out to the softball team as well, because they let us practice on their outfield. So we were joking that if there was actually a 6-a-side tournament, we would win a national championship, because we practice in small spaces, AstroTurf, but it's been, just one thing after another. So one thing that we didn't count on was having to have teams go off campus to find grass fields. When you have Baylor, Portland, Georgia Southern, Air Force, these guys are all like, well, we don't really want to train on turf. But we have to thank them, because they actually did train on turf. And some of them ended up going to Iolani, Wailaiki, Radford. They all stepped up to help us. And we're forever grateful. But that was a lot. Setting up the goals, taking water, taking ice, making sure that we picked all the equipment up after they were done training. So Daniel, Num, Ula, and Noi and I, we would just take shifts and just kind of rotate. So it was a lot, because we're trying to get the team ready to play, and here we are trying to deal with all these operational logistics. But it like I said, it is what it is. You do what you have to do, and I think it actually worked out to be really good for the team to see the staff set that pace. No job was too big or too small. We just rolled up our sleeves, you pulled up our pants and said, let's go. So the team followed along that way as well. They don't complain, they don't ask questions, they just do.
Well, obviously it's worked, because you're Big West regular season champions with a match left to be played. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what I think is, and I want to see your opinion on the turning point of this season. We'll talk about that. It's Call the Coach with Michele Nagamine. We're at Ruby Tuesdays in Moanalua. Good crowd here. We even have some folks on a date night here as well. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Call the Coach from Ruby Tuesdays in Moanalua.
4 3/4, 4 3/4.
The Michele Nagamine Show on ESPN Honolulu.
And welcome back to Ruby Tuesdays in Moanalua. It is the Michele Nagamine Show. Did you ever think you would have your own show, Coach?
Never.
We'll get to the turning point because we do have a text message from one of the listeners. If you want to participate, 808-296-1420. You can call in or you could text. All right, a couple of questions from our texter. First off, this texter says, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
And this person says, last year's top two scorers, Amber Gilbert, who had 7 goals, Mia Foster, who had 6. They combined for only 1 goal so far this year. Is anything slowing them down this season?
I think with Amber and Mia, they have taken on different roles this season for us. The anonymity isn't there as much as it was before. Amber is usually double teamed almost every single game. So having her on the field is just enough to instill fear in a lot of opponents. Her speed, her ability to get on the end of crosses and chase balls down to the corners and assist. She's just done such a great job of drawing a lot of attention off of other people. And just like Mia has gotten assists on major game-winning goals. And as a playmaker, I think what people are not thinking about is that a lot of the goals that we had a lot of penalty kicks last year that Mia converted for us. So she was our PK specialist. But this year we have not had as many penalty kicks, and Mia was out one game. And Nalini Tamasian stepped up and took it. Fabi Zamora took another one. So I think even though their point production isn't quite there, the impact that they've had for us has been really, really significant.
You know, you talk about the goal kicks. I mean, a couple of them resulted in wins for you guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, absolutely.
The Davis PK, VAR was going our way for a good portion of the season. So I think we've kind of spread out the scoring, and the players have stepped up in their own right to assume different roles, which is sometimes very hard to do.
Right, so we got another question.
Okay.
And people ask me this, not all the time, but once in a while. But the texter wanted to know, what's the story behind the nickname Bud?
Well,
she's a child of the 80s.
Well, yes, that's right. Child of the 80s. And by the way, the people do not know this, but I had to show the team my pokey, spiky hair mullet from the 80s. I told them if they had a 6-point weekend, I would reveal the pictures, and they didn't believe me. They're like, we can't believe you had a mullet. I said, it was the 80s. Everybody had a mullet. But and they were totally into it. Kennedy Justin, our goalkeeper, was driving that bus. Amber was driving that bus. So they ended up tying Irvine, and so they beat UCSD. They tied Irvine, and I was like, nope, you didn't get 6 points. You're not seeing the mullet. But then once they won the next game, they beat Riverside. I showed the pictures. I'm going to show them to you.
Okay.
But Bud came from I'm everybody's buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm everybody's buddy.
Now, if you win the Big West tournament, you've got to show that picture to everybody.
I think I'm supposed to get a mullet again.
No way. We're going to hold you to that one. What do you guys think? Mullet? Yes? No? Hey, on that note, we're going to take another break. When we come back, I promise we'll talk about the turning point in this season. You're listening to the Michele Nagamine Show on ESPN Honolulu. We're live at Ruby Tuesdays in Moanalua.
How do you get 100% of your work done?
And welcome back to the Michele Nagamine Show, live from Ruby Tuesdays in Moanalua. If you want to participate, 808-296-1420 via call or text. We're also on you can send us a message on the Facebook ESPN Honolulu site or on YouTube as well. We'll get to a YouTube question in a moment, but I want to get back to the turning point because at one time it wasn't as peachy as it is now. You finished the non-conference portion of your season 3-6. You guys were shut out 4 times, but the end of that non-conference was a 3-match road trip.
Right.
And then after that, things changed. What do you pinpoint? Because I remember you telling me about the fact that the University of Portland allowed you guys to use their full field for practice, and you guys actually got to practice against real goals, not the kind you fold up and carry around with you. And just listen to your voice after that. I got the feeling like you thought that was like a day where everything seemed to really click for you guys, and it's been no looking back since.
Yes, absolutely. And this is something that we try to instill in our team and our young women to be kind, live with aloha, because you can never have too many friends. And the University of Portland coaches are friends of mine. They stepped up. I was like, hey, we don't want to drive to Hillsborough. We don't think that we can make it out there with the timing of we wanted to go to a family's house for lunch and all this stuff. So I was just like, hey, do you think that we could just use your field? And when you're not playing that home team, getting to use their facilities is not the easiest thing. But wow, they really stepped it up for us, and they gave us a full field. We had goals, more goals than I've seen in a long time. And we just got out there and we got after it. And we talked to the team and we said, look, you scored first against Seattle. You couldn't close the door. We lose 3-1. We go to Eastern Washington and we lose there again. And we said, look, the madness has to stop. You've worked too hard. You put in too much time and effort and just heart and soul. So let's do this. Like, let's hit the reset button. We had a little team meeting. Then we got out to practice and we just worked on the final third. Just going at the mannequins and doing all these different passing patterns. And it's a point for the staff that we actually said, wow, this feels really good. And we never thought about the fact that when you shoot on a portable goal, the post may be, I don't know, a couple inches thick in diameter, but a soccer goal, the post is going to be considerable. It's very strong, right? So you have an 8x24 goal. When our soccer balls hit the post during practice, they just spin off to the side. But when we were shooting on the big goals, they were flying back at us, and we really had not had a chance to practice that all that much. So that Portland State game, and the fact that University of Portland let us use their field, that was, I think, the evening that the switch got flipped.
And you've only lost one match since then, and that was a long time ago. I mean, it's pretty incredible. But you were very confident about this team, and this kind of question goes hand in hand with our YouTube question. Somebody from YouTube said, Coach, what is it going to be like having the Big West tournament at home for once? And this kind of goes to what I was going to ask you, is that you told us at the beginning of the season you thought this team was good enough to win the Big West, and that was after the non-conference. You've done it. What's it like having the Big West tournament at home?
It's just absolutely thrilling. We're so excited. The local community has been so supportive of us, our friends, our family. I mean, look at this place. These are the ride or dies. These are the people who show up, and we tell our team this all the time. Surround yourself with people who are going to show up for you, and you need to be sure that you show up for them. There's too many bad things that are going on in the world, and showing up is half the battle. So thank you to everybody for showing up. Even Hazy the Wonder Dog.
I was going to say, you brought the team mascot. She's here.
She's here.
Hazy the Wonder Dog.
She's in her Cadillac tonight. The Prius is at home. She's got the Cadillac stroller. But yeah, it's a thrill for the community, and I'm so excited for them.
You're like the front light to a house, the porch light. But there's more than just the porch light, right? Your assistant coaches have been just tremendous in the work that they have done. Tell us a little bit about both your assistant and some volunteers as well, and the impact they've had on this program.
It has just been an incredible ride. Getting to work with these people every single day is just such a blessing. And Noi Kong Johnson, Nam Tyndall, they volunteer their time. They're there every day, just relentlessly working and doing every single thing that needs to be done. When I get there, I don't need to worry about a thing because they've already taken care of everything. Just equipment-wise, getting everything up to mid-pack and out to softball and breaking up, setting up goals, breaking them down, all of that stuff. They really do help me, and the team really, really enjoys them. They bring this youthful exuberance that I lost a long time ago. So I really do have to thank Num and Noi. They're the best volunteers ever, and they've made such an impact for our staff. Yeah. Then there is no question that hiring Ka'ula Rowe and getting her back, that was my biggest recruiting victory. Getting Ka'ula Rowe to move home from Alaska, where she was living that Alaska life, salmon fishing, sending fish home. Sorry, guys, all your salmon dried up. I know, we're working on it. But that salmon connection, we kept in touch over the years. Ula actually played for me at Kamehameha and is one of the all-time greats that I've had the privilege of working with. So, yes, my greatest recruiting effort was with Ka'ula, getting her to move home. And then Daniel Salcedo, selling Daniel on Hawaii when he was in Atlanta, and growing up there he was born in Mexico, grew up in Georgia. So Daniel has just complemented all of us so well. He's super mellow. He's very bright, but he's very reserved. He has that quiet intensity that I like to refer to as quiet intensity. And I laugh because I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place every single day. All my friends know this. There's
physically
50
or are you talking about
everywhere. Physically, mentally, I'm all over the place. And I told the staff when we first got together, I'm like, here's the deal. Don't make me ask you twice, but you're going to have to ask me like 8 times. So I think your biggest strength is to know your weakness and to surround yourself with people who are good at the things that you're not. I gave up being a control freak a long time ago. I kind of just go with the flow now. They take care of everything for me. I barely need to even touch a cone. They step in and they say, hey, you know what? We got it. You do this. You take care of this. We got it. So it was a lot I'm a reformed control freak. I used to have to do everything. But, just surrounding yourself with good people, that is some of the best advice I could give anybody. Go for the quality of the person first, the work ethic, the appreciation for family and friends. And ohana is our number one core value at UH. And this is what we tell all of our recruits. And I actually think that the vibe within the staff, although we miss Mark Fournier, we're not saying that we don't miss Mark, but we have this vibe that is just so level, and the kids picked up on it. They enjoy us as a group. They give us a lot of grief. There's a lot of fun. They got me to dance after the Santa Barbara game. I am not a TikToker, that is for sure.
Do we have any video evidence of that?
You know what? It's floating around someplace, and I'm like, guys, I don't have that kind of rhythm, even though I used to have the Reeboks with the straps. And Amber Gilbert asked me, yeah, but did you have the boots with the fur? I said, no, I drew the line at the boots with the fur. And I didn't have an apple bottom, so I didn't have those jeans either.
All right, we're going to take our last break. Don't forget, you can still contribute to 808-296-1420. You can text us. You can give us a call when we come back. We're going to look towards tomorrow night's match with Long Beach State, the seniors, and maybe if we have enough time, the move to the Mountain West. You're listening to the Michele Nagamine Show on ESPN Honolulu.
Here's Dr. Jamie Fukui with a health tip from Hawaii Pacific Health.
When it comes to breast
ESPN Honolulu.
And welcome back to Ruby Tuesday in Moanalua. Great lively crowd on hand. It is the Michele Nagamine Show. Rainbow Wahine Soccer. You've captured the regular season championship, but the regular season isn't POW. You have one more match left tomorrow night out in Waipio against Long Beach State. You can watch it on Spectrum Sports. 6:30 game on, 7 o'clock. Jessica Domingo will handle all the play-by. I'm letting you know now, Jess. Jess is going to do play-by-play and color tomorrow night.
Yeah, Jess.
I see my boss clapping. I don't think that's a good thing.
She went to Kamehameha. She can handle anything.
She can. But let's talk about the Beach, because they're fighting to get into the top 6 to qualify. A team that's decimated by injuries. Last year's Offensive Player of the Year in the conference is out. They've lost on first team. But they're still fighting. And talking to their coach earlier today, he said, I think we just had our best match of the year, their last match. So how do you approach this knowing that it doesn't really matter, but maybe in some ways it does?
Yeah, it's Long Beach. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Mauricio, and we've been friends for many, many years, and we text each other just about after every game. So when I'm getting a result, when he's getting results, sometimes we don't get results, and all of that stuff. But he's been a really big supporter of mine, and I have always had his back as well. So playing each other is always fun because it's the banter back and forth, and we're joking on the side. We actually were joking, like, wouldn't it be great if we both need to tie and we could just drink beer at the 50-yard line and let the teams just play, keep away. And so we had a good laugh last week, and I know that I voted them number 1 in the preseason poll, and they ended up there, and they had the best team. They still have a very, very good team. They just have had a bunch of unfortunate injuries and so a streak of some very bad luck. So as we know, in this crazy game of soccer, it turns like that in a snap and a heartbeat. And we just have to be ready, because they are coming out fighting for their conference lives. Yes. So we have told the team it's business as usual. We're approaching this as just another game that's going to prepare us for the conference championship, the tournament next week. So we're really excited to play because I think getting to have that break on Sunday and then see we get to watch all the other games. But yeah, don't think for a second that Mauricio is going to be sleeping on us. It's going to be a battle tomorrow.
No, I totally expect that, but I would think on your side as well, it's trying to balance, like, let them have fun out there because it doesn't matter, but at the same time you want to keep them focused because you got to go back on the pitch next Thursday.
Right.
And it's win, move on, lose, go home.
That's right. And we didn't work this hard or to come this far to just take things for granted. And the second we take our eye off the ball and lose our focus, that's the beginning of the end. So we are committed to each other, to show up for each other tomorrow night. We talked about it extensively today at training, that it's business as usual. And yes, it doesn't matter statistically because we already had the number 1 seed wrapped up, but we told the team, hey, congratulations. And I think when people talk about honoring their seniors, honoring your seniors doesn't mean you start all of them at the beginning of the game. Honoring your seniors has to be done throughout the course of the season. So we've honored our seniors all season long by winning the regular season title. That, to me, was the biggest thing that we could do for them. Send them out on that kind of note.
Coach, you talk about it being senior night and the fact that this is one of the last senior nights in the Big West. Making the move to the Mountain West here in a couple of years. Kind of sad, though, because of the relationships that have been built over these years with the Big West coaches and the teams and things like that. What
exactly.
Is your feeling
we know where we're going. We know where to park. We know where to stay. We know where to eat. We know where to go and buy snacks for the team. The familiarity and the comfort level in the Big West, it's a one plane trip.
Yeah.
It's a direct flight somewhere and then a little bit of a drive someplace else. But getting into the Mountain West, I don't know how that's going to work, to be honest. I'm sad to be leaving the Big West. It's a soccer conference. I think the Mountain West is equally as strong this year. They're a little stronger than the Big West is. But it's going to be a 2-flight and a drive for most places that we go to. And that's going to really add a bunch of taxation onto the bodies.
All right. Well, that just about wraps things up. How much time do we have? We have one more minute, Coach. I'm going to give you a minute just to talk about what this season has meant to you and why people should come out and support you tomorrow night and next week.
Well, it's been a very, very special season. This is also Giving Week, so you still have some time. So please go on and help us get some rings, man. We need to raise some money. So the community has been so supportive of us, and we just want to thank everybody for all the support, all the phone calls, all the texts. We feel the love, and really this season was for you guys. So thank you.
All right, I'm getting hand signals. I haven't done radio in a long time. 20 seconds. I'm so used to somebody telling me in my ear what to do. All right, we got 20 seconds left. I just want to thank everybody that came out here tonight to support the Rainbow Wahine soccer program and Coach Bud. Hope to see everybody out in Waipio tomorrow night.
Got to Waipio.
If you can't go out, tune in to Spectrum Sports. For the coach, I'm Scott. Until next time, aloha.
Aloha.
This has been the Michele Nagamine Show on ESPN Honolulu. Brought to you by Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, HDS, Hawaii Pacific Health, Ruby Tuesday Hawaii, HGEA, HCAMP, Castle Resorts and Hotels, and Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union.
Here's Dr. Jamie